I possess the extraordinary ability to comprehend the spoken language of all creatures. The coor duck inquired, "What is it that you have stuffed within your down jacket? Pray tell, what do you conceal?" "It is goose down, and you are not particularly warm," the coor duck retorted, clearly agitated. "Oh, you are so warm, are you? Come, come, let me experience the warmth you boast of." I could no longer restrain myself and hoisted it up. "At present, my garment is filled with goose down, but should you continue your incessant chatter, I shall fill my belly with you." "One. What are you eating?" A cawing sound echoed in my ears. I silently gnawed on a duck neck, my face betraying no embarrassment as I replied, "Chicken neck." "Let me see it," it demanded, flying onto my table. Just as I was about to respond, the little chick beside me chimed in. "Wait until she pulls out your second uncle. You, chicken pot, shut your beak." Upon hearing this, the curl duck instantly fumed, hands on hips. The little chick remained undaunted, sneering, while the fragrant duck head grew agitated. What ensued was a quarrel between the two that lasted a full 15 minutes. I sat by, finishing my duck neck and moving on to a roast chicken, feeling as though I had truly lived enough of this life. After my meal, as I prepared to feed the cat, the curl duck's cawing suddenly broke through. "How much did I cost?" 5,000. "What's it to you?" I replied while clearing the table. At this, it fell silent for 2 seconds before exclaiming, "What about that chicken?" 50? Why do you ask? Curiosity piqued, I glanced down at it, only to meet its sincere and innocent gaze. "So now I'm worth 50-50. I nodded indifferently, turning to leave. Suddenly, it seemed to strike me, and I dashed over to the little chick, discovering, as I suspected, that its feathers had all been plucked. Thankfully, it was merely a matter of feathers. I settled the little chick on the balcony, locking it up with 10 locks to prevent the duck from getting in. "You don't trust me, do you?" The obstinate duck paced angrily on the ground. What's wrong with me raising my own worth? I ignored it, turning to head towards the cat house. Glancing back at the curl duck with a warning, "I'm taking Orange for a checkup and a vaccination. You'd better behave at home. Lay some eggs. Because I intend to eat when I return." Seeing it silent, I turned to head to my room to get dressed, only for it to waddle after me, its rear end in the air. "Why are you following me while I change into my down jacket?" I lamented. Regret washed over me. Why did I ever decide to keep a dead duck? Upon hearing this, it abruptly raised its head. "What is the down jacket made of?"
Down.
I shot it a cold glare. It cawed, "Let me see."
Get lost.
Today, I genuinely craved a cast-iron pot stew with a goose. "What is this yellow thing made of?" It approached the wardrobe door, surveying its territory. As I peeled off my pajamas, I replied, "Chicken down. Can chickens make clothing? Truly. They are treasures, fit for both stewing and wearing." After its exclamation, it moved on to inspect the next piece of clothing. I paid it no heed, even though it could indeed eat. "What about this one?" It queried again. "Duck compressed 100 polyester." I hesitated mid-sentence, retracting my words. "That stuff can be compressed." "Let me have a look." Before it could finish, I kicked it out, fed up with its antics. "What's it to you if I cost 5,000? My kidney, my lungs, my liver, my legs, all together worth 1,000,000. I can tolerate you." 2. After tidying up, I headed to the cat room, preparing to pack the cat into its carrier. In the meantime, I could still hear Orange muttering complaints. The trash can's been overturned, the data cable chewed, and the sofa scratched. "What else are you planning to do today?" "Just missing a telegram to send." "What are you poking me for? I can get in by myself without your nudging." "Honestly, I feel like you owe me." As I zipped up the bag, I took a deep breath and looked at it, forcing a standard fake smile. "Given your size, even if you took the square root, I still owe you nothing." "Square root? Is that gray cat down below?" I knew something was off when you came back every time. Turns out it was because of outside affairs. I donned my headphones, activating my noise cancellation mode. Life is truly bothersome. I finally understood why God didn't allow animals to speak. Upon arriving at the hospital, I had just released it from the cat cage after a vaccination when it began its antics, pestering its feline peers. "Hey, how come you're so white? Being a cat like me?" It strutted out of the carrier, attempting to socialize with a white cat. The white cat cast it a glance, uninterested. Unfazed, it continued, "Let me introduce myself. My name is Orange, I'm 1 year old, and I can independently poop and eat. By the way, what fish oil do you use? Your fur is so smooth." When the white cat failed to engage, it switched its attention to a gray cat. The gray cat, licking its rear, shot it a sidelong glance. Staden. Oh, I use Staden too. We're both cats, so why are you so dark while it's so white? Orange squatted on the ground, curious. The gray cat glanced at it, then turned to leave. Mom, I want to buy Staden. Seeing the gray cat ignore it, it turned back to me. The incessant cat noises ringing in my ears gave me a headache. Bye. I finished speaking and turned to find a doctor, but the next moment, a familiar figure caught my eye. It was Jiang Che. You're here. The receptionist greeted him warmly, then turned to retrieve a husky from a nearby cage. Placing it before him. Thank you. Jiang Che politely expressed his gratitude, and as he approached to take the husky, his glance inadvertently fell on me. Pausing for a moment before he spoke, maintaining a polite distance. You're here too. Yeah. I touched my face, noticing a flush creeping up as soon as I saw him. My affection for him was common knowledge, yet he seemed oblivious. He remembered my birthday and every significant holiday, yet he remained blind to my feelings. You like dogs too? I initiated a conversation. He replied curtly, then offered the dog to me. Want to hold it? Is that all right? I asked shyly, looking up at him. He nodded slightly, sure. Before he could finish his sentence, I embraced him, feeling his body stiffen for a moment. Just then, an odd voice echoed in my ears. Nothing to do tonight? Let us go to the zoo and be monkeys. Hey, my wife hugged me. After 3 years, she finally got close. The monkey was jubilant. Monkey wants to swing on vines. What was that sound? I abruptly released Jiang Che, scanning the surroundings, finding it empty save for 2 cats engaging in primal mating rituals. I looked up at Jiang Che, who maintained his usual indifference, his gaze calm and collected. What's wrong? Seeing his steady demeanor, my face flushed crimson. I mumbled, can you understand my feelings? As the words left my mouth, I felt blood rush to my cheeks, realizing the utter inappropriateness of confessing in this setting. The silence lingered overhead until finally, his voice broke through. 3. I awaited his rejection or acceptance, yet was taken aback by the coldness of his response. As he seemed ready to leave, I quickly reached out to stop him. Senior, I actually like you. Just then, the strange voice returned. Oh, we've been like an old married couple. Suddenly saying this, even the monkey feels shy. I looked up, meeting his perpetually calm gaze, my confusion deepening. I released him. Wait, hold on, there seems to be a monkey around here. Let me find it. What? Jiang Che was momentarily taken aback, then fell silent, his tall figure standing at the door. The next moment, that voice chimed again. The book says this is how love is conducted, right? Why hasn't the baby monkey been born yet? I looked up, seeing Jiang Che resting his chin on his hand, seemingly pondering something. Suddenly, it dawned on me, I could hear his inner thoughts. And it appeared he believed himself to be a monkey. His father was the chairman of Huawei Group, meaning his entire family was composed of monkeys. If this truly was his inner voice, did he think we were in a relationship? Just holding hands won't lead to offspring. At least humanity hasn't evolved to that stage yet. I was still grappling with how to articulate my thoughts when his inner voice echoed again. Or maybe the little darling isn't well. So that's why she hasn't conceived? Should we take her to the hospital for a checkup? You should check your brain instead. I gazed at him earnestly. As the conversation drew to a close, I became acutely aware of my own indiscretion. Just as I was about to offer an explanation, he regained his usual composure, though a hint of desolation lingered in his eyes. I intended to speak, but he had already taken hold of the husky leash and uttered a quick, I'm heading back, before striding away with an air of finality, accompanied by a sorrowful lament. Little cabbage, no one loves me. Darling, why do you scold me? Surely she has found someone else. It must be so. Oh, I have been forsaken. Even upon returning home, the incident weighed heavily on my mind. I sank into the sofa, and in a moment of distraction, Orange stealthily approached my water cup for a drink, evading my notice, and indulging in a few more sips. Silly child, still blissfully unaware, as if I had prepared it just for you. Yet, after quenching its thirst, I noticed that it seemed less than content, sitting there licking its paws. What troubles you, Orange? I inquired, gently rubbing its small head. You can share your woes with me. I shall assist you. Really? Responded. springing to its feet and meowing several times in quick succession. Seeing its adorable demeanor melted my heart. Of course, dear one. Then kneel down. I have a favor to ask. In an instant, it leapt onto the fridge, surveying me from its elevated perch. Speak if you wish, if not, so be it, I declared, turning to leave. However, it quickly grabbed hold of my clothing, insisting my brother, the one I swore an oath with, has gone missing. I would like your help in finding him. I frowned slightly. Missing? It sighed, a touch melancholic. Indeed, back when we were wandering, he was a splendid cat. Whenever he rummaged through the trash and found something delectable, he would bring it back to me. He was all muscle, no other cat dared to bully us. I nodded, softening my tone. What is his name? What does he look like? Orange hopped onto the sofa, casually knocking my teacup to the floor. His name is Old Ghost. He has a sleek black and white coat. Black and white? Could he be a neurotic cat? An image of its brother formed in my mind. Upon hearing this, Orange's ears perked up, and it seemed offended. Why insult my brother? I approached and embraced it, gently stroking its fur. Have you seen the black cat, Sheriff? Your brother might have attained a position. Before I could finish, it interrupted with a tone of certainty. Impossible. Why so? I asked, perplexed. Orange raised its tail defiantly. When I left, he told me not to worry. Someone feeds him daily. He mentioned that when he next received a ham sausage, he would sneak it back to your home for me. But I have waited nearly a month without seeing him. I had adopted Orange only 2 months prior. When I first captured it, I vaguely recalled seeing a cow-patterned cat lurking beneath a car, watching from a distance. Orange slumped onto the table, its entire expression drooping. And to think, it feared you would mistreat me. It even caught a few mice for you, refusing to eat them itself, giving you its prized possessions. I fell silent. Realizing that the dead mice at the door had been its doing, I had assumed it was a malicious act and nearly called the authorities. All right, I shall assist you. I rubbed its small head, surprised at how loyal and devoted Orange was. It moved me. It began grooming itself, then seemed to remember something. Oh, bring that silly cat along as well. It can entertain us on the way. Is that polite? I withdrew my hand, nearly tempted to swat it. Orange rolled its eyes and retorted, and you call my brother neurotic? Is that polite? I chuckled, amused by its protectiveness. Very well, I apologize. If we find him, I shall adopt your brother. How does that sound? Orange flicked its tail, turning its head away in a haughty manner, clearly displeased. Previously, someone adopted me, and I was overjoyed, thinking I finally had a home. But when summer arrived, they cast me aside for shedding too much fur, and I believed my owner had simply forgotten to take me along. Thus, it had chased after them, drinking from rivers when thirsty and scavenging for food, only to return home and discover a new cat, a beautiful ragdoll. I lowered my gaze, beginning to understand. That family must have desired a ragdoll and intentionally abandoned Orange. I looked at it, and there was a flicker of melancholy in its eyes. I approached and gathered Orange into my arms. Do not fret. I do not disdain you. Let it come. Really? Orange turned to me, joyfully mewing. Then, I thank you on behalf of my brother. Time is of the essence. Hasten to procure a litter box. Do not let my brother suffer. Ensure food bowls, a cat tree, and playthings are all arranged. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath, restraining myself. I awaited Jiang Che at the entrance, still needing to explain the previous incident to him. After all, I ought to be the one visiting the hospital, given that hearing animals speak is rather peculiar, and I had not meant to insult him. Suddenly, I heard the sound of a car coming to a stop and looked up. Jiang Che had just stepped out of the vehicle. Upon noticing me, his gaze lingered for a moment before quickly shifting away, as if nothing had transpired, and he walked past me. Senior, is this your home? I blurted out, momentarily at a loss for words. I observed his fingers falter as he entered the passcode, and when he turned to look at me, his expression resembled one of disdain. He then coolly acknowledged me with a curt HM. He entered the house, leaving me standing in place, uncertain whether to advance or retreat. Fortunately, his inner thoughts echoed in my ears. Strange, I left the door open. Why isn't she coming in? What is she doing standing there? Could she not just enter and ask for a cat to help? Orange emerged from my bag, its eyes brimming with curiosity. Upon hearing this, I finally felt reassured enough to step inside, where I saw Jiang Che seated before the sofa. I offered him a polite smile. Senior, I have a favor to ask. There was originally a cow-patterned cat that wandered with Orange, but for some reason, it has gone missing. Given your extensive connections, could we perhaps search for it together? Of course, if it proves too troublesome, I completely understand. As I spoke, I cautiously observed him, his long lashes lowered, his expression one of indifference and calm. At that moment, the surroundings seemed to plunge into a profound silence, and my cheeks flushed with embarrassment, fearing he would reject my request. Finally, he lifted his gaze to meet mine. What are you babbling about? Want a kiss? What on earth was he thinking? Had all my previous words been in vain?
No.
That's not it. Not possible. She is human, unlike us monkeys. The rules are different. There is a sequence to follow. Holding hands, having children, kissing. That order must not be disrupted. I felt an overwhelming urge to rush over and tell him to toss that silly book aside. Did he not realize that something was amiss between holding hands and having children?
All right.
At last, his voice, low and gentle, broke the silence. I exhaled in relief, gratitude shining in my eyes. Thank you, Senior. He instructed someone to check the nearby surveillance cameras and advised me to wait at home for news, promising to inform me of any sightings of the cow-patterned cat. However, I felt compelled to remain active, considering Orange was counting on me. Thus, I printed missing cat flyers and began asking the little cats I encountered on the streets. I am unwell. If you see me, please take me for treatment. My mother is also ill. If she cannot find me, she will go mad. Please do not tear up the flyers. My mother has money to offer. I read the flyer aloud, which included a photo of the cow-patterned cat from the surveillance footage Jiang Che had sent me, placing it before a black cat that was busy eating. Have you seen this cat? I haven't, but your missing cat flyer is written as if you are unwell. The black cat glanced at the flyer, offering me no sympathy. I fell silent, wishing fervently for my ability to hear animals speak to vanish. For what good was it if a lovely cat merely had a mouth to speak? Can you post this missing cat flyer in areas with a high concentration of cats? I pulled out 2 cans of food. After finishing its meal, the black cat sat on the ground, looking at me with a condescending expression, and languidly declared, "Cats can't read. No matter where you stick that flyer, they won't understand. They might think you are trying to hunt them down." Indeed, that is a valid point. Might I trouble you to assist me in spreading the word, in hopes that some feline might catch wind of the news? I revealed a smile akin to that of a treacherous minister. 10 cans. The black cat mewed in response. The orange cat, previously content, perked up at the mention of this, its head popping out in disbelief. 10? I wouldn't dare to extort that much normally. Have you lost your wits? Do I resemble a can to you? If you don't bite me a couple of times, I believe that as a cat, I should at least maintain some dignity. Sensing the situation was spiraling, I quickly covered the orange cat's mouth and approached the black cat with a conciliatory grin. Dear brother, please don't take it to heart. 10 cans it is, but this matter will require your extra effort. Mew mew. The orange cat thrashed in my arms, clearly disgruntled. The black cat nodded, looking at me with a sense of satisfaction. Rest assured, since I have taken your money, I shall certainly see this through. Bring the cans tomorrow to receive the news. Thank you, brother. I appreciate your hard work. I smiled as I watched it depart, only allowing my grin to fade once it was out of sight. In my next life, I shall never be human again. Being a mere cat would surely be preferable. I released my grip on the orange cat's mouth, and the next moment, a cacophony of mews erupted in my ears, scolding me with a fervor that was nothing short of vulgar. Why did you cover my mouth? You should have let me negotiate. 10 cans? That old ghost has never eaten that many in his life. I've been a wanderer. Just 1 can would suffice for me to labor tirelessly. Had you only released me, I could have bargained for at least 5. It continued to complain incessantly. I held it close, patiently stroking its fur. All right, after all, we are asking it for a favor. If we don't offer a bit, it surely won't put its heart into it. Moreover, it is a wanderer, living from meal to meal. If we offer a little more, it may ease its plight. Finally, the orange cat relented, retracting its head back into the cat bag. The next morning, I was roused from my beauty sleep by it shaking me awake to choose my attire. After all, I was to meet my brother soon, and I should present myself well to assure him I am a good person. It brought forth a suit and a casual outfit, asking, "Which do you think would make me appear more approachable, or perhaps a bit cooler?" After a long separation, I felt that a suit would create a sense of distance. Which wouldn't he do? I earnestly provided my analysis, and it accepted my suggestion. The entire afternoon was spent with it preening in front of the mirror, licking itself from head to toe. Finally, at 5:30, it crawled into the cat bag and urged me to hurry, insisting we must not keep my brother waiting. All right. I donned my chosen attire, slung the cat bag over my shoulder, and carried 2 bags of cat food along with 10 cans as I made my way outside. Upon arriving at the designated meeting spot, the little black cat awaited me, accompanied by a calico cat. I have brought the goods. Where is that old ghost? I scanned the surroundings, failing to spot the black and white cat. After releasing the orange cat, the calico darted towards a concealed opening nearby, seemingly a stash location, glancing around before stealthily retrieving a moldy sausage and scurrying back to me. This is from the old ghost for you. The calico was slender. Its round eyes fixated on the sausage, clearly a product of its erratic meals as a wanderer. It had saved the sausage for a special occasion. The orange cat glanced at the sausage, its urgency mounting. Where is the old ghost? Where has it gone? Upon hearing this, the calico lowered its gaze, its ears drooping. After you were adopted, it rummaged through trash daily, but all it found were half-eaten sausages. It wanted to give you the best until one day, it returned limping, with a whole sausage. As it spoke, the calico's voice quivered, tinged with sorrow. It thought the old ghost was given food by someone else and joyfully ran over to retrieve it for you, only to discover a mouse trap hidden beneath the leaves. Later, a group of little girls arrived and freed the old ghost from the trap, but afterwards, the person who had been feeding it took it away in a cage. I urged the old ghost to trust humans once more, but after it entered the cage, it was taken away, and I have not seen it since. It said it would return in a week. The calico's ears drooped even lower as it recounted the tale. I patted the calico as head and crouched down to open a can. Perhaps the old ghost has been adopted. Do you know what the person who took it looks like? The calico pointed to a poster across the street. That's him. The poster read that a teacher at a city high school had received an award for being an exemplary educator, dedicated to teaching students and fostering harmonious teacher-student relationships. Don't be disheartened. I will find the old ghost. I comforted the calico with a gentle pat on the head. The calico hung its head low. The old ghost promised it would return, and it certainly wouldn't break that promise. If it does, it must have encountered danger. Not necessarily. Perhaps it has not fully recovered, hence not being released, I remarked, rising to my feet and dialed Jiang Che. I have found a lead on the old ghost. This school is part of a charitable project underway. I would like your assistance in finding out the teacher's address. All right, I will come to find you. Don't go alone. Jiang Che's calm voice resonated in my ears. I nodded obediently, waiting for Jiang Che to arrive, then followed the address provided by his assistant to locate the teacher's residence. Knock, knock, knock. I tapped on the door. There was a moment of silence within, followed by a voice asking, "Who is it?" The next moment, the door swung open, revealing a man dressed in a t-shirt, wearing glasses, and possessing a refined appearance. "Are you Teacher Zhao? I apologize for the sudden intrusion. I wish to inquire whether you had previously adopted a cow pattern cat?" As I spoke, I produced the photograph of the cow cat to show him. Zhao's gaze darkened as he examined the photo, and he invited us inside, offering a gentle smile. "Yes, I caught it. I have been rescuing stray cats for a long time. When I found it injured, I took it home and bandaged it. It was released 3 days ago." Released? I was momentarily taken aback, but the calico said it hadn't seen the cow cat return. What? Zhao was momentarily stunned by my words. Just as I was about to respond, Jiang Che stepped in front of me. "Thank you. This has been a disturbance." "No trouble, no trouble." Zhao responded politely, waving us off as he closed the door. I looked at Jiang Che, puzzled. What's wrong?
Jiang Che sebrał farud slightly.
There is a sense of danger in his room. But I just scanned the place, and didn't he notice anything amiss? As I spoke, I suddenly paused. No cat food or any cat supplies were present. Given his love for cats and his long-term rescue work, he couldn't possibly have nothing related to cats at home. "Let us discuss outside," Jiang Che urged, pulling me into the elevator. My unease intensified as Jiang Che's voice resonated above me. He is divorced. His ex-wife was very dissatisfied with him, yet the neighbors speak highly of him. My frown deepened. This meant the man was quite adept at pretending. Jiang Che reviewed the surveillance footage along this route, but due to some blind spots, certain areas were indeed unmonitored. He only found footage of him capturing the cat, but none of its release. With the old ghost still missing, the orange cat had been gloomy these past few days. I took it out for a walk, but it remained sullen, refusing even its favorite treats. Why do humans bully such a wonderful cat? We simply occupy a small corner, causing no disturbance, and when hungry, we merely rummage through your discarded trash. You had no use for it anyway. We aren't stealing. The orange cat lamented with its head drooping. Just as I was about to offer comfort, the orange cat suddenly perked its ears, its nose close to the ground, sniffing intently. That scent. It's the old ghost. With that, it tugged my hand and raced ahead. Hey, slow down, I exclaimed, but it continued to charge forward. Finally, it halted at a garbage dump, its body seemingly collapsing in an instant. It's so filthy here. The old ghost loves cleanliness. How could it be found here? Surely, there must be something amiss with my sense of smell. As I gazed within, I realized this was a waste incineration plant, where refuse from the entire district is processed. If the old ghost is indeed here, it is likely a harbinger of dire misfortune. In the next moment, my phone rang. It was Jiang Che. The cow cat had been found, but alas, it had already passed away. Was it an accident? My once bright eyes dulled instantly. Jiang Che fell silent for a moment before finally speaking. No, it was deliberate. It was Zhao Wen's doing, and it has already been exposed. Upon hearing this, my gaze darkened slightly. After hanging up, I opened my phone to discover that the trending topic was indeed the incident of the university professor abusing cats. Zhao Wen had uploaded the entirety of his heinous act to the dark web. Although he wore a mask, his residence was uncovered by vigilant citizens. After surveillance footage was revealed, concerned citizens reported his precise address, leading to a police investigation that confirmed him as the perpetrator. I surmised that this information had likely been provided by Jiang Che. I clicked on the surveillance video, witnessing the cow cat cruelly bound to a post with wire, while the assailant wielded scissors, methodically snipping away at its claws. The cat remained in a state of defiance, refusing to submit even as scalding water was poured over it. I scrolled through the comments, all filled with vehement denunciations of Zhao Wen. The cat fought valiantly throughout, yet when the boiling water was poured, it could only open its mouth in silent agony, unable to voice its suffering. Its final moments were agonizing. I was his ex-wife, having divorced him due to his disturbed psyche. He was nothing more than gilded exterior concealing a core of decay. I shudder to imagine the torment it endured, yet it never attempted to placate its abuser. Continuously yearning to attack, the cat was undeniably the bravest of all. As I perused the comments, tears streamed uncontrollably down my face. What's wrong, litter box cleaner? The orange cat, which had dashed away moments before, suddenly returned, its bright, glimmering eyes fixed on me. For the first time, I was grateful that cats are illiterate and cannot operate smartphones. I stifled my tears, gently rubbing its head. I had just received news that the old ghost had been adopted by someone and was now living far away, in a much better place. Upon hearing this, the orange cat lifted its head to meet my gaze and, after a long moment, softly uttered, "That's wonderful. The old ghost doesn't have to wander anymore. Someone loves it now." Though it claimed to despise humans, it always unconsciously gravitated towards them. It wished for a home, and now it has one. How splendid. Indeed. I wiped away my tears, offering it a broad smile as I lifted it into my arms. Mama will get you some treats to celebrate the old ghost's liberation from suffering and its rebirth. The orange cat responded, curling up into a fluffy ball against me. Yet I could feel the dampness of tears soaking through my shirt. It knew. It understood everything. It was aware that its companion was gone but still pretended to be oblivious, attempting to comfort me. Cats are not foolish. I carried it back home, where it soon fell asleep, its fur around the eyes dampened by tears. I intended to place it back in its cat bed, but its paw clutched onto me. Sleepily murmuring, the old ghost said it would always protect me. Now that it is gone, I only have you left. I will always stay by your side. I could no longer contain myself and broke down in tears. The old ghost was such a wonderful cat, even with an injured leg. It would bring back ham sausages for the orange cat. Had it not been for Zhao Wen, the three of them would have lived joyously together. The affections of cats are so pure, they could have remained lifelong friends. It innocently walked into the cage, believing it had found a home again. only to tumble into an abyss instead. Shortly thereafter, the police discovered that Zhao not only abused cats, but also had a criminal history. He had even caused his own daughter's demise, not by accident, but in a bid to commit insurance fraud. His wife took him to court, and he was ultimately sentenced to life imprisonment. He got what he deserved, yet the old ghost could never return.
The end.
Thank you for listening. We shall meet again in the next story.